Yes. Welcome to another edition of Go Long Live with Barry Long 2. I am Barry Long the second, not the first, not the third. I am the second, Barry Long 2. You can find me on social media. I'm at Radio Barry on Facebook. On Twitter. On Facebook, I am Barry Long II. And on Instagram, I am Barry Long _2. We are live on Today's California, live on CoachellaValley.com. And I want to send a big shout out to Craig Campbell. Real quick, I just want to send out my condolences to there was 3 guys who I knew out here in the Valley. Didn't know them too well, but 3 guys who passed away this past week. Juan Soto, a.k.a. Saga, rest in peace. Also rest in peace to Brian Davis, and rest in peace to Coach Alfonso Alvarez. Just really, really sad news that came out of Coachella Valley this week. There's really no easy way to transition into sports, but real quick, we want to shout out Patty Folwell Blaylock. Shout out to Patty. She commented on Facebook. She's watching live with us. Howdy from Abilene, Texas. I don't even know where Abilene is. I just know that it rhymes with Maybelline. All right, so we're going to start talking some Olympics. That's the first thing we're going to get into right here. Then we're going to jump into a little bit of the basketball news that we got, some NFL news that we got, some big news that came out of Buffalo, as well as we're going to break down the AFC West today. So all you Raider fans, all you Charger fans, I know it's a lot of you out here, Broncos fans too, you guys tune in. Just stay tuned because that's what we're going to talk about the last half of the show. Now, let's just jump right into the Olympics. Team USA, they were pretty dominant in their win. They avenged their loss to Australia, which I'm very excited about. Kevin Durant once again led the team. Kevin Durant came in. We were down by 15 points in the first half, and Kevin Durant came out and dropped 23. But USA struggled early. We missed our first 10 threes, and it just wasn't looking like it was a good game. And we know that we had already lost to Australia by 8 points previously. So it was like, oh, man, are they going to win or not? Is this going to be, the game where we lose? And actually it wasn't. And Drew Holiday went to work. He had 6 assists in the second half alone. The defense looked good. You had Draymond Green and Bam Adebayo, even though they are undersized centers and undersized big men, they were protecting the rim, and they beat the heck out of Australia. Kevin Durant didn't even have to play in the fourth quarter. So it was 97-78, and we avenged our loss to Australia. And we talked about it. Australia was a decent team, but France is a much better team with much better NBA talent. They have Rudy Gobert on that squad. They have they have Nicholas Batum. I know Nicholas Batum is not much to be afraid of, but he knocked down some crucial threes in that game against France. So we play against France tonight in the gold game at 7:30 p.m. On NBC. I'll be watching as soon as I leave from here and get off the air. But yeah, I'm very excited, and I was very critical of this team because of the way it was constructed in the beginning and the way that they were, not looking good. But they are seeming to get it together and looking like a team. And if they can be down by 15 and make a run and come back, then I'm fully confident that they will be able to hold off on France. The only thing about France is that Rudy Gobert is 7 foot tall with like a 7'6" wingspan, and we don't have the size to really match up against him. We have JaVale McGee. What the hell, JaVale McGee? But we don't know if he's going to be, serviceable and play the entire game. So we might struggle a little bit with size against Rudy Gobert and the French team. But that game is tonight at 7:30 on NBC, and I am pumped up. I'm excited. It's not like watching the NBA Finals, but this is the gold medal game. So if you're a basketball fan, go check it out on NBC tonight. Now, the women are looking pretty good as well. Now, shout out to Coach Dawn Staley. She is leading the team. Previous years, they were coached by Gino Auriemma, the UConn head coach. But she stepped up to the plate, and I really love what she's done with that South Carolina basketball team. She's got the Gamecocks playing at an all-time level. They're constantly in the Final Four. They won a national championship a couple years ago. So shout out to Dawn Staley. But, yeah, this gold medal women's basketball team, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to the gold medal game, and they're going to play against France or Japan. They've already waxed Japan. They're led by Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. Those are the OGs on the squad, and of course they got Brittany Griner, who I think Brittany could play with the dudes. She's kind of built like a dude. She can play with the dudes. I wouldn't mind if somebody was going to break over to the NBA. It might be Brittany Griner. I'm just saying. But Asia Wilson is on that team as well, and Breanna Stewart. Can't forget about her. She is a baller. So shout out to the women's. They are going to be playing the next day or so, and they're going to find out if they're playing against France or Japan. But it would be nice to beat France on the men's side and the women's side. Get 2 gold medals. But yeah, I'm just really, really excited about this Olympics. We had some other Olympic news, but I really was very interested to see a report on ESPN today. They were like, the report read that cornhole is going to be the next Olympic sport, y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. So I do cornhole. I work for, the radio stations, Alpha Media. We have eight stations out here. And we go, we have an event at Agua Caliente. Shout out to everyone in Agua Caliente. But yeah, they have a cornhole tournament that we do. And we do remote locations from out there, and this is a serious sport. Now I know if you've been watching, if you're a sports fan, you've been watching ESPN, you've seen a little bit of cornhole here and there on ESPN. But I mean, they're really pumping it hard, and right now they're saying that this could be an Olympic sport. It's not just your backyard barbecue, country game that it once was. This game has become a very, very intricate sport, and I mean, and if skateboarding can be an Olympic sport, curling could be an Olympic sport. Why not cornhole? So shout out to all the cornholers. I know some professionals, and I mean they know how to roll that thing, and they can bounce them over the top of it. It's intricate. It's incredible. So hey, all you cornholers, man, y'all have an opportunity to be Olympians, to win a gold medal. So yeah, we might see cornhole in the next coming up Olympics. That would be incredible to me if we did see that. But I would be I'd be ecstatic. That would be something that it would be worth watching. It's hard to watch some of these sports, but that one would be definitely worth watching because it gets serious. Now, some NBA news really quick before we get into all of the other NFL stuff that we've got covered today, because we are going to dive deep into the AFC West here shortly on Go Long Live with Barry Long 2. Hopefully, everybody had a great Friday. I know I did as well. I mean, it's been hot out here. It's been hot out here, but we keep it cool indoors, and we just got to stay indoors until it gets down to those 100s. But we're up in the 120s, 118s, and it's just ridiculous in Palm Springs. But yeah, we are coming to you live from Coachella Valley, live on CoachellaValley.com and today's California.com. Thank you to everybody who is tuning in and watching us live. Thank you to everybody who's commenting. Patty Falwell Blaylock commented earlier. She said howdy from Abilene, Texas. Howdy? Is that what they say in Texas? Howdy. So we had some NBA news. Kawhi Leonard agreed to a deal with the Clippers verbally. So, and this should not be news because we knew that when he declined his option, that he was going to re-sign with his team just at a higher number, and he was going to take his time figuring out what he was going to do. Well, Robert Horry was very, very critical of him the other day, saying, that he was selfish because what it did was by him not signing the deal immediately to the Clippers. And I agree with Robert Horry 100%, not just because he's a Laker. I agree with Robert Horry, but because Kawhi Leonard did not come to the Clippers sooner and sign a deal sooner and agree sooner, there were other free agents that were on the market that were considering going to LA and playing with the Clippers, with the caveat that Kawhi Leonard is going to be there. Now, if Kawhi Leonard's not there, then I'm not going to go. So then they might have signed up to other teams, and that's what did happen. And it didn't give the Clippers enough flexibility within their salary cap to make more stuff happen and more moves happen. So Kawhi Leonard, to me, you know how I feel about Kawhi Leonard. I've already told you he is just like the ice cream machine at McDonald's. He's never working. He's either load managing or the dude is hurt. He is probably the most delicate, most selfish superstar we've had in the NBA in a long time. And I know some people are probably thinking, no, LeBron. No. LeBron is not that selfish and not that delicate. And he is durable. He's there every year, baby. He was in the finals, 10 straight years? Didn't miss one? Now, he's been injured a couple times in the last 2 seasons, but he is durable. Kawhi Leonard, you can't say the same about him. Kawhi Leonard sits out, he got a broken nail. No, but seriously, he's been injured. He's been injury prone. He load manages. I mean, this guy takes games off. He's constantly withholding information from his team. He's not marketable. He's not marketable. Imagine him in Space Jam. That would be the driest movie of all time. So yeah, so Kawhi Leonard has agreed to a deal with the Clippers, and he is agreeing to come back. They haven't announced the numbers yet, but he is coming back to the Clippers. And we heard that Kevin Durant is going to come back to the Brooklyn Nets. He will sign an extension for 4 years. So yeah, we got some more stuff, some more headlines that are dropping as far as free agents are concerned, and that is exciting news. Now, we are coming to you live on CoachellaValley.com. We are also live on Today'sCalifornia.com. We got a few people watching live, a few people liking the status. We appreciate all of your support. Got some good news that we will be announcing here within the next couple of shows. So make sure you stay tuned to that. Now, we got some NFL news before we jump into this division. Shout out to all the Raiders fans and all the Chargers fans out here, because it's a very big rivalry that they have going on, and it gets serious. I mean, some of those games get serious. Y'all know how serious the Raider games get. So we are going to jump into that soon. But right now, let's talk some NFL news. We have just one big main piece of information. This guy right here just got paid. Josh Allen just signed a 6-year, $258 million contract. First of all, I don't think any athlete is worth, what is that number? $258 million. I don't think anybody's worth that much money. I don't know if Jesus is worth $258 million. I mean, come on. But yeah, 6 years, $258 million. And it's a really good deal for the Bills, because he's been playing at an all-time level these last 2 seasons. Under the radar, because when he first came into the league, his biggest criticism that they had about Josh Allen was that he was inaccurate, and at times where it counted the most. So what he's done is he stepped his production up. We know he can run the football from out of that backfield. He can pull it down and run it. But what they did is they went out and got him a bona fide number 1 wide receiver to go along with Cole Beasley in the slot, and they put Stephon Diggs right there, and you saw that boy blow up last year. We got Alex Perez commenting, hi from Mexico. I thought they said hola in Mexico, but hi from Mexico. Maybe he's visiting down in Puerto Vallarta. But yeah, so you can comment live on Facebook, and I will pull up your comments. So shout out to everybody who is live watching us. But yeah, Josh Allen, man, he definitely deserves his money based off what the market is giving every other quarterback. He definitely deserves his money. He's worth it. It is a great investment for the Bills. And what we know about the NFL is that salary cap continues to swell every single year. So these contracts, you're going to start seeing quarterbacks. I mean, I remember when quarterbacks weren't even making $25 million a year. That number was ridiculous. Now we're seeing quarterbacks making $40 million a year, $42 million a year. So that number is going to continue to swell. And what we could see in the future is quarterbacks getting paid $50 million a year, $60 million a year. My God, it could go all the way up to $100 million a year by the time I die. So I'm just saying it is the market is there. So he definitely is worth what the market is paying him. And shout out to him, man. I mean, $258 million, that's a whole lot of money. Gotta buy a whole lot of buffalo wings. Isn't that where buffalo wings come from? Buffalo? Isn't that why they call them buffalo wings? But yeah, Josh Allen, 6 years, $258 million. Now, we are also going to talk about, let me just drop our meme of the day, first of all. This comes to you from NFL Memes on Instagram. It says, so cool that the Colts gave Carson Wentz his own parking spot outside the facility. Gotta love it. The internet is undefeated. I love it. Alex Perez asked me if I speak Spanish. I speak un poquito. Un poquito, por favor. I can get you from here, to there, and I can order dinner in Spanish. But when you start talking real fast, that's where you lose me. I only had Spanish 3, and my Spanish name was Ricardo. All right, so let's jump right into this NFL AFC West. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in on Today'sCalifornia.com and on CoachellaValley.com. Now I've been going through these divisions. I've been going by division. I'm picking my winners, and I'm going from worst to first in these divisions. Okay, so all you Raiders fans, do not get upset with me, but I had to do it, and I had to pick the Raiders to be the worst in this division this season. Now, I do like what they have been doing as far as going out and getting Kenyan Drake to back up Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is an incredible running back. He's been, this is going to be his third year, and he's just been improving each and every year. I really like what he brings to the table. And Kenyan Drake as your backup, I mean, you can't beat that. They also got second year Brian Edwards, who's going to really step up this year. They said that he's been looking really good in training camp. Don't forget about Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs the third, I believe, is what he goes by. But Ruggs is a beast. We saw him, get off to a slow start his rookie season, but there were a couple big plays downfield that they hit, and I can remember a few particularly where Derek Carr dropped it right in the bucket, and he scored on a long touchdown. So he is definitely a deep ball threat. And you still got Hunter Renfrow, who I think is a really good slot receiver. I've loved him since he was in Clemson. And you got Willie Snead. Willie Snead is going to come to the table. So there are weapons all around Derek Carr. Now, Derek Carr, last year they were 8-8. Derek Carr will take you to the 1-yard line. Okay, I'm a Ravens fan. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. So I am very familiar with the brand and the style of football in which Derek Carr plays. Much like Joe Flacco. I mean, Joe Flacco would take you all the way down to the 1-yard line, and he would fumble the ball. And would lose the game for you. And it just broke my heart every single time. Now, Joe Flacco did have that one year where he went on that Super Bowl run, got to the playoffs, did throw one interception in the playoffs, scored 11 touchdowns in the playoffs, but he had weapons. He had Anquan Bolden, who was on his last legs. He had Jacoby Jones. He had some weapons. So Derek Carr plays a lot like Joe Flacco. Derek Carr has fumbled at the 1-yard line more times than any other quarterback that we've ever seen. But Derek Carr is a star. And I really love what he brings to the table. I saw an interview with him just recently, and he looks refreshed. He looks loose. He looks like things are going to come easy to him. But we know that he has been under a microscope these past few years. We know how much John Gruden loves his quarterbacks. He's in the fourth year of his contract, of his 10-year deal. He's got to get it done as well. But these two are coming to the table, and they've got to get it done. And I just am not sure that even with Darren Waller at tight end, who's probably one of the best tight ends, he will become probably the best tight end in the game if he stays healthy. Even with that, all those weapons, I'm just not sure that Derek Carr is the one that gets it done. So I pull for the guy. Seems like a really good guy. But, if he doesn't work out or if he even gets injured, I think that they have a solid number 2 quarterback in Marcus Mariota. So I don't think that it's going to be that bad. But I still see them, at the bottom of this division this year. Even with their emerging defense with John Abram, and they do have the ability to rush the passer a little bit. They just got Yannick Ngakoue, and they have Cleveland Farrell on one side. So I think that, the defense is probably going to be the weakest link in this team. Just the ability to stay healthy. And I look at them to be the worst in this division. So I apologize to all the Raiders fans out there, and I have nothing against you. Even though I did go to a Raiders game, and I was wearing my Ravens jersey, and I didn't get attacked, but I got harassed the entire time. Y'all know who y'all are, Raiders fans. But some of the greatest fans in football, that stadium should be lit. This is the first time that they're going to be able to have fans in that stadium. Remember last year was their inaugural season in that new stadium in Vegas, and they didn't have fans. But I think it's going to be lit. We've seen Vegas Golden Knights games be lit, the hockey games. At halftime, they have like Elvis Presley marrying somebody. So we might see some crazy stuff in that stadium. But, even with the hangovers that the away teams are going to have in these games, I still don't see the Raiders finishing any higher than 4th in this division. Now, we're going to move on to the Broncos. Maybe I should have flip-flopped these two. It was hard for me, okay? Because the Broncos are not sure locked up, no pun intended, with Drew Lock. Drew Lock is not the answer. Last year, he had 16 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. And at times, he just looked unengaged. At times, he just looked like the moment was too big for him, like he was overwhelmed. No matter how strong his arm is, Drew Lock just does not seem to be the leader and the answer at quarterback for the Broncos. I had to say it. Now, they went out and got an insurance policy by going out and getting Teddy Bridgewater to back him up. Now, Teddy Bridgewater might be emerging as the number 1 starter by the end of training camp. We will see. Then I feel better about this team. But for some reason, I just have a feeling that Dick Fangio is going to go out there and put Drew Lock in at the beginning of the season, and Teddy Bridgewater will be a backup plan. Will come in and they'll use the excuse that he doesn't know the offense as well. But no, Drew Lock is not the answer. And if they start the season off with Drew Lock, then I should put them at 4 and the Raiders at 3. But I like what they've done. I like some of the moves that they made. They don't have Phillip Lindsay, but they have Melvin Gordon III. They still have Cortland Sutton. They still got Jerry Jeudy. So they've got some weapons, but they don't have a quarterback to get it to them. We don't know. So at the end of the day, as great as that defense is with Bradley Chubb and Von Miller, and you got the secondary locked up with Kyle Fuller and Darby back there and Kareem Jackson, who they got from Houston, you got some ballers on that defensive side. The defense has been great for years. It's time to go out and get a new quarterback or put Teddy in and see what he can do. And if he can't do something, you got to go out and get a different quarterback. But I do not see them finishing better than 3rd, and I might put them at 4th in this division. Sorry to the Broncos fans. All right, we are live on today's California.com, and we are live on CoachellaValley.com. Alex Perez commented again. He said, "Me encanta vivir en California." That means he likes to live in California. And he's been commenting on this. You can also comment and pop your comments up. And I will, if you got a comment about what I'm saying, say something. I always welcome people's debates. And much like a radio show, I can pop you up live. All you got to do is request, and I can pop you up live. And you can talk to me as well. So, once again, this is Go Long Live with Barry Long the second. I am Barry Long 2. Don't forget the 2. Live TV, people. All right, so now we're still in this AFC West, and we have yet to get to the top 2 teams who I picked. I picked my top 2 teams, and in number 2, I mean, is it really a secret who's going to win this division? Is it? We know the teams that are in this division. It is the Broncos, the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Chiefs. Who's going to win? Who's going to win, dummy? You know who's going to win, but no. The Chargers are going to come in second in this division. It's inevitable. I love what Justin Herbert is doing at the quarterback position. He is amazing. If you haven't watched this guy, go look at his film. This guy is coming, and he is going to be a top quarterback in this league for a long time to come, barring he stays healthy. I feel like he was hitting up in the West Coast when he was playing in college, and now the world is finally getting to see him. But he is on a team that is not as popular. They were playing in the StubHub Center, which only had a capacity of not even half the fans that other NFL stadiums had. So this guy, moving into that new stadium with all those fans, the same stadium with the Rams, I think it's going to be an exciting season for this guy. And, I mean, he had 31 touchdowns and 10 interceptions in his rookie season. We haven't seen a good first season from an NFL quarterback like that probably since Pat Mahomes. And I mean, let me pump my brakes. He ain't no Pat Mahomes. Nobody's Pat Mahomes. But I'm saying this guy is good. This guy is legit. He's the truth. And we've seen a lot of quarterbacks come in and have great first seasons and follow them up with terrible second seasons. We've seen it with RG3, who he had arguably one of the best rookie campaigns for that Washington Redskins team before they were WTF. But we didn't see him back it up in the second season. We've seen a lot of other quarterbacks have the same kind of success. We saw Baker Mayfield have a little good run at the end of his rookie season, and then he fell off his second season. But he bounced back in that third season, and he's about to get paid. I'm telling you right now, I don't think Justin Herbert is going to have a sophomore slump. Now, they have a new head coach. Anthony Lynn is out. They have a new head coach in Brandon Staley, who was a defensive coordinator for the Rams, a number 1 Rams defense. And he's been, an assistant in this league for a long time under some good head coaches. So I think Brandon Staley is going to have success right out of the gate as a first-year NFL head coach, much like Sean McVay, much like Matt LaFleur. So I look for this to be a very successful team this season. Looking at their record, they don't really have the worst record against, but they've got some weapons. They got Austin Eckler, who's been reliable at the running back position. They got they got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. As long as those 2 guys stay healthy, then I think that that he'll have some weapons to get the ball to. If I were them, I might go out and make a trade and go out and get another weapon, because it's going to be hard to keep up with the Chiefs in this division. But their defense is pretty decent. Joey Bosa's a stud. You know, they got Chris Harris Jr., who's the cornerback. He's a little bit old. He's not the same Chris Harris that was with Denver. And Derwin James is a beast, but they're pretty thin at linebacker, and it'll be interesting to see, besides Joey Bosa, and it'll be interesting to see if they can rush the passer this season. But I do like the Chargers to have a successful campaign, but I think that they're gonna, if they want to make the playoffs, they're gonna have to go out and get another weapon for Justin Herbert, because he definitely deserves it. And this brother is about to get paid just like Josh Allen, $258 million. Good God, that'll buy a lot of Buffalo wins. And my number one team for this division, of course, we know who's going to win this division. It's not even close. It's not even fair. Patrick Mahomes and his Chiefs team is going to come out swinging like they always do. They do amazing things on the offensive side of the ball. If they have a weakness, it was defense, and they've done a lot of things to address their defensive holes. But Patrick Mahomes, they're stacked at wide receiver. Even though they got rid of Sammy Watkins and he's not Raven, they still have Tyreek Hill. They still have McCole Hardman. And look for this name this season, okay? Because there's always a name. Like McCole Hardman was the one who emerged last season as their star. Look for this season. Look for a name, Brian Pringle. Yes, Pringle. Like, once you pop, you just can't stop. But yeah, Brian Pringle, he's going to be a name that is going to be a household name. If the Chiefs go in their, their usual 14-2 run, they're 15, or they're 17 games this season, so it will be 15-2 this season. But if they go on their traditional runs like they've been doing, then you're going to hear a lot of Brian Pringle's name. And he's also a beast in the return game. And then, of course, they have Travis Kelce. Kelce, not Kelsey. We've been saying Kelsey for a long time. He told us it's not Kelsey, it's Kelce. It's going to be weird to saying that. But Travis Kelce is one of the best tight ends in the league. And the O-line got better. The O-line got better than it did last year. They were ranked 11th last year in O-line. And they went out and acquired Orlando Brown Jr., who was a beast. So the O-line got better. The defense is stout. They got Frank Clark and Chris Jones on that line. They're coming for you. And you cannot forget about probably the most dominant X factor, in my opinion, in the secondary in all the league. And that is Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, because he is all over that field. I mean, he's sacking people. He's picking balls off. He's taking them to the house. He's hitting people. He's probably one of the best playmakers on defense that we've seen in a long time, like a Charles Woodson type player when he was young in his career. So yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs to win this division. They were 14-2 last year. I see them being successful again. I'm not sure if they make it to the Super Bowl or not, because we've seen them struggle last year when the O-line couldn't protect Pat Mahomes in that Super Bowl. We saw that O-line really break down, and he wasn't able to get the ball out there. So I'm definitely interested to see if that O-line can hold up this season. But I think it got better with Orlando Brown Jr. So yeah, there it is. I laid it out. I got the Raiders at 4, I got the Broncos at 3, the Chargers at 2, and Kansas City Chiefs at 1. Now, shout out to Alex Perez, who is saying, how beautiful is it? How beautiful it is, Palm Springs. Palm Springs is very, very beautiful, but it's very, very hot. Let me tell you how hot it is. You don't want to go outside. It's so hot. Like, it's so hot sometimes that you think about calling out of work. But yeah, and Lisandro Cetina Carrillo says, saludos desde Mexico. Thank you. I appreciate the love, all the love that we've been getting on Go Long Live with Barry Long II. Don't forget the 2. And I just want to thank you to everyone who has been tuning in, everyone who has been sharing the post, because a lot of people have been sharing the post. Continue to do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the love that we've been getting. Remember, when you go out this week, remember, stay focused, stay motivated, stay inspired. And just remember, man, that you are capable of anything. So go out and do it. This has been another episode of Go Long Live with Barry Long II. Thanks for tuning in.